You don't need to spend crazy amount of money to smell good, or even to smell amazing, or to smell masterpiece of fragrances. Uh, Price doesn't necessarily mean, or higher price tag doesn't necessarily mean that that specific fragrance will be better. It just means that that fragrance is expensive, and more often it will be overpriced. Nonetheless, there are still a few expensive fragrances out there that are really worth the money, in my view, and this is all subjective, but in my opinion, there are still, although quite expensive fragrances, but still you can smell the quality, the uniqueness, and as well the performance. So in this video, I'll be mentioning 10 fragrances in no specific order that whilst they are expensive in the retail market, and even so, while you can find them in the discounters and secondhand market, they will still be expensive. So with that being said, I mean, I will be mentioning 10 expensive fragrances. They are expensive for me, and I believe that for the average person, they will be quite expensive, but that they are still worth the price tag. And so let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Jolim and welcome back to my channel, Scented Moments, where I discuss everything about perfume. So like I discussed now in the intro, I'll be talking about 10 expensive fragrances that are worth the money, both smell-wise, the uniqueness, performance, and everything. But again, this is all subjective, and again, you don't need to spend crazy amount of money to smell good. There are incredible affordable fragrances out there that smell amazing and that they don't need to be clones. And so with that being said, in no specific order, again, let's get started with these 10 beautiful perfumes. And the first one from the house of Clive Christian, a very expensive brand from UK. This is actually already a quite old perfume from their collection. I believe it's the most affordable from their range. Retail-wise, this fragrance costs 395 euros. And this is Clive Christian's X Masculine. This one right here. This is such a stunning fragrance. I adore this. This is currently my favorite Clive Christian. I currently have 3 fragrances from the brand. I'm really digging to discovering like the Clive Christian fragrances, although I'll be honest, the majority of them are quite mid, but there are still quite a few that I want to add to my collection, more specifically 3 that I want to add, and I think that will be about it. But so far, X is my favorite. And again, just also want to quickly disclose that this video is not about the most expensive fragrances that I have in my collection. These are just fragrances that are expensive. Some of them are quite expensive, and some of the ones that I'll mention are some of the most expensive fragrances in my collection. But this video is not about what fragrances are the most expensive in my collection. I will save that specific topic to like a future video. So returning to Clive Christian X, this is a masterpiece of a spicy, aromatic, mossy, woody fragrance. It's so good, and although this was released like in the early 2000s, like 2001 or 2002. I believe it was 2001. This still smells very modern to this day. It's a wonderful, again, aromatic, spicy, masculine, very gentlemanly and refined fragrance. A bit mysterious. It has a smokiness into it, maybe because of the spices. This has cardamom, ginger, pepper. I would say it has a hint of a saffron in here as well, but it's also quite mossy and woody. And you also have lavender in here, a bit green, but it has a darkness into it. I would say that this has some leathery facets, but although leather is not featured as an official note, but definitely has a smoky, leathery quality. I really find this very complex and again, so good. The best from Clive Christian in my view, at least so far. It's Clive Christian's X Masculine. The next fragrance from House of Puredistance, another quite expensive brand. They sell their sizes of the bottles. They go from 17.5 ml up to 100. They also have a 60 ml. This is a 60 ml bottle, and this is the amazing Black by Puredistance, extrait de parfum created by Antoine Lee, and this was released in 2013. The retail price of the 60 ml of Puredistance is 295 euros. The 100 ml is 490 euros. Very hard to find Puredistance in the gray market. although I already found here and there, but still the prices, you will not find any Pure Distance below 200 euros. So also there's that. In the end, it's expensive perfume, and to me, Pure Distance is completely worth the price tag. Although they do not have the most groundbreaking fragrances, but they are so intriguing, so intense and rich and deep. And that's the case with Black. Black, although they do not mention like official notes, they leave it up to the imagination of the person who is experiencing the fragrance. Black is a very spicy, smoky, leathery fragrance. It goes, I would say that it's in the same family of Clive Christian X, and I try to make this list not redundant in terms of not mentioning fragrances that are similar to each other. But here I really needed to feature both Black and X because first are two fragrances that I'm enjoying a lot lately, and but also Black is still a bit different than X. X, it's more aromatic and a bit more green and mossy. Black is darker, smokier, heavier, and more leathery and more woodsier. So I just think it's really worth mentioning both and having both, in my view. It's a stunning, stunning scent. One of the best from Pure Distance. Again, it's not a brand, although I love Pure Distance, and I have to say that their scents are more, I would say, more intriguing than the ones from Clive Christian. But I will also say that not all of them are worth having. Absolutely not. Currently, I have 3 fragrances from the brand. I just want to add as well just a couple more, and that's it. They currently have, I mean, way over 10 fragrances in their portfolio, but I just want to have like with 5, in total 5, and one of them is already discontinued, which is Puredistance M, which is their masterpiece, although heavily inspired by Bel Ami by Hermès. More in its original formula. It's still a masterpiece of a perfume, that Pure Distance M. Still my favorite and one of my all-time favorite leather fragrances. Really ashamed that it was discontinued, but I really want to have the new Pure Distance M V2Q, which was also created by Antoine Lee. Very different from Pure Distance M, the original, but still worth having. So it's that one and Ionotus, which is a stunning, stunning bergamot fragrance. I mean, just the most photorealistic, natural smelling and long-lasting bergamot that I ever experienced. And that will be about it. Although they do have a few others that are really worth experiencing, but in my collection they would be a bit redundant. But coming back to Pure Distance Black, I mean, it's really a stunning scent and one of the best from Pure Distance. Just incredible. Highly advise you to try this one if you have yet to. Now the next fragrance, I've been talking a lot about this fragrance lately from the house of Strangelove, and this one is Meltmyheart. I mean, I'm just head over heels with this one. One of my favorite discoveries of this year, if not my favorite, but also one of the most expensive discoveries of this year. Meltmyheart by Strangelove. This is a 50 ml. I mean, the 50 ml is, the price itself is almost 500 euros. And I mean, it's glorious. They also sell 100 ml, which goes for 800 euros. And they also sell 15 ml, which is 200, in the 200 euro mark. I mean, crazy expensive. And they also have like oils or attars for each of their perfumes. They currently have, I would say, 5, 6 perfumes. Initially, so their first, I believe now they have 6 fragrances. Now, better thinking, they have 6 fragrances. The first 5, they were created by Christophe Miel, which is the same parfumeur of, for example, Tom Ford's Amber Absolute. He did a stunning, stunning job with these first 5 Strangelove fragrances. Meltmyheart, Falling to Stars, Dead of Night, Lost in Flowers, and Silence the Sea, so 5. Now you have a new parfumeur, which is also quite popular now. Apologies, but I'm forgetting his name. And he created The Fire Within, which was released last year or a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't tried that one, and nor I still haven't tried Lost in Flowers, nor Silence the Sea, actually. But Big fan of the brand. I actually have Falling to Stars coming very, very soon, hopefully this week, but more by the end of this week. But yes, coming back to Melt My Heart is a beautiful iris fragrance. I mean, this most realistic, natural smelling, buttery orris, bit powdery, and you have this chocolate quality in here that gives a gourmand quality, but very addicting, very sensual fragrance. You also have a bit of this almondy quality, like this creamy pastry almondy quality in the heart, and then it comes the oud, which is a more soft, resinous, slightly dark oud, not that typical fecal blue cheese oud. Stunning, complex fragrance, natural smelling. Really, in terms of performance, is fantastic. This is another parfum. It's just a masterpiece of a fragrance, I would say. Melt My Heart, incredibly expensive, but totally worth it. And the next fragrance, this is from a designer from the House of Chanel, but from the Les Exclusives. I mean, and I could have mentioned so many perfumes from this line. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this line. I have currently like 14 or 15 fragrances from Chanel Les Exclusive. I do want to add a couple more with number 22 and Misia. It's the only two missing that I really want to have. And then I will be done with the line. But this fragrance that I will mention is really one of my favorites. It's really top 5 favorite fragrances from this collection. And it's actually my most worn fragrance from this line. It is the masterpiece Sycomore. In the Eau de Parfum concentration, this is still to this day my favorite vetiver fragrance. I already have Sycomore for, I would say 3 years now. This is all about vetiver. I mean, a stunning woody, green, grassy vetiver with this nutty, creamy quality. It's beautiful. And I would say, this and Le Lion, these two are the most masculine leaning perfumes from Chanel Les Exclusives. Currently, this is a 200 ml. I do prefer the 200 ml size. You get a better value for the money, and the current price tag is 440 euros, if I'm not mistaken. And mark my words, next year it will be more expensive, maybe 460. So keep that in mind. These the fragrances, the prices of these fragrances are constantly being raised up every year. But yes, I'm still stunning. These are still stunning perfumes, although super expensive currently, and of course, needless to say, almost impossible to find these fragrances in the secondhand market. So also there's that to consider. But I still believe that they are really worth the money. They are still the best, or one of the best, exclusive designer lines out there. And yeah, in the end, totally worth it. This is a bit linear, I would say. It also has the traditional like sparkly aldehyde type of note in here, but it's more about this rooty, deep, amazing smelling vetiver with this nutty, creamy quality. And I just adore it. Very elegant, again, more masculine leaning, but if you love vetiver, this is a must try, to say the least. And the next fragrance from the house of Stephane Humbert Lucas. I adore this brand and I love this perfume. One of my favorite amber fragrances ever, maybe my second favorite amber, just behind Amber Aurea. I'm not featuring Amber Aurea, just because you all know how much I love it. I'm always talking about that perfume, especially now in the colder weather. I already talked about Amber Aurea actually in a few videos ago, so I just really want to highlight some other perfumes, and especially some other amber fragrances. This one is stunning, quite expensive, but it is Stephane Humbert Lucas Hira. I love this one. Very underrated, I would say, Hira, but maybe also because of its price tag. Just look at the color of the liquid. Such a rich, deep amber, and it's really how this fragrance smells. This is the darkest, most thick, fossilized, smoky, oudy amber. This has oud in here. You definitely can detect the oud with the smoky resonance. This really smells like fossilized amber, and it's just so magical. I love it. And the performance is just incredible. Definitely not for the faint of heart. One of the best fragrances from Stephane, hands down. But also the price is quite steep. We are talking about 560 euros for a 50 ml retail wise. I mean, you can find Stephane Berlucas more readily available in the online market, like gray market, secondhand market. But I mean, still, this fragrance will be in the 200 euros or close to 200 euros. So also there's that for just a 50 ml. But nonetheless, this is really one of the best amber fragrances out there. Again, linear, but it's so glorious. Oh man, it's so good. For you amber lovers out there, this is a fragrance that you need to experience, need to sample, because it's really one of a kind amber. It's Oida by Stephane Berlucas. And the next fragrance from the house of Amouage, and again, a brand that I love, although absolutely not a fan of their latest releases, but I love what they did with the Extrait collection, with, I think they call it the Exceptional collection. And this one is I would say it's a masterpiece of a perfume. And it's not Jubilation 40, it's not Interlude 53, not Reflection 45. I mean, those fragrances are extremely popular. Also, those are fragrances that I already talked about a lot, so I really wanted to highlight another one which I already talked about in the past, but not so much as of recently. So I just really to talk about this one again, and it is Amouage Epic Woman 56. And I would say that the woman's line of Amouage is fairly overlooked, and quite unfairly, because ultimately their fragrances from the woman's side, they are spectacular, and dare I say some of them even better than the man's counterpart. I would say that it's even the case of Epic Woman, and specifically in the Extrait version. I love Epic Man, and I already have Epic Man for a few years now. I have like I would call it the second formulation of Epic Man, or maybe I have the first one, I really don't recall, but I do have an old version of Epic Man, which is brilliant, a spicy, super incensey, woody, deep fragrance, a bit green. But this Epic Woman, this was created by Cécile Sorokian, both the original Epic Woman, the Eau de Parfum, and the Extrait. And also bear in mind that this is not the first Extrait that Epic Woman saw. Actually, back in, I would say in the late 2010s, we had an Extrait of Epic Woman. It had like the lid was full of like crystals, but then that was long discontinued. It was a limited edition, and yeah, just like a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, Epic 56 was released. And I have to say, I never tried the original Extrait, so I really cannot compare it. But I would say that you don't need to have both the Eau de Parfum of Epic Woman and this one. I would say that this is just, it's a pure Extrait. It's just richer, deeper. So if you already have the Eau de Parfum, I mean, scent-wise, it's very similar. It's just like, yeah, this one feels a bit deeper and richer, but maybe you will not really need, or you will even find the differences that would justify the paying a higher price for the Extrait. But if you do not have Epic Woman, like it was my case, just go with the Extrait. This is stunning. This is a very spicy fragrance. Lots of cumin in here. Very peppery, incense, rose, oud, patchouli, amber. Just brilliant, very complex fragrance. And although this is marketed for a woman, this is, I would say it's even more masculine, leans more masculine than feminine. But nevertheless, I mean, that's all marketing. No fragrances, no gender. So just wear what you love, and that's it. And I love this one. This is, I would say, this is the only rose oud fragrance from Amouage. And although it's not, it's far from being your typical rose oud fragrance. This has many things going on, especially it's the cumin with the peppery, with the rose. The rose here is very intense, and it has a natural quality in here. Very incensey, woody, just stunning, stunning, stunning perfume. This is quite expensive. I mean, it's in the over 400 euros mark. This is a 100 ml. Retail wise, you can find Amouage fairly available in the discounters, but this will never go lower than 250, 260 euros for a 100 ml. Completely worth it. It's Epic Woman 56 by Amouage. Now the next fragrance, this is the best perfume from Louis Vuitton. I really adore this one, and it is Nouveau Monde. Nouveau Monde is really a stunning oud, leathery, spicy rose perfume, a bit incensey as well. I just adore this more than even Ombre Nomade. I also have Ombre Nomade. I really like it, and I do respect and appreciate the impact that it had in the market. But I mean, I think Nouveau Monde is where it's at. It's darker, it's deeper, it's richer, it's a bit more masculine. I love the oud in here. I think at least personally, I can detect more the oud in here than in Ombre Nomade, and it's superior. Overall, it's a superior fragrance. It comes across of a higher quality fragrance, to me at least. Wonderful scent, a bit of saffron in here also. Nouveau Monde by Louis Vuitton. This is a 100 ml. You can also have the 200 ml, but I mean, I really don't need such a 200 ml size of any Louis Vuitton fragrance, to be honest. 100 ml, it's just more than enough. And this is a very potent fragrance. And the price tag, I mean, I really don't recall, but it's in the 300 euros, 330 euros, if I'm not mistaken, for a 100 ml. You can find this in secondhand market, but you really need to be careful because Louis Vuitton are very faked out there. So you really need to be careful and cautious. You really need to do your research if the bottle is real or fake. So just also bear that in mind. But yes, Nouveau Monde, fantastic, fantastic creation. The next fragrance is one of the best vanilla fragrances out there. Not the best, it's not Chiota, but it's still one of the best. Hands down, from the house of Guerlain, from their La Matière. This one is Angelique Noire. And this is the original 75 ml bottle, as you can see. This is really one of my all-time favorites. Angelique Noire, this is a bitter, dark green vanilla fragrance. It has this angelica root and angelica flower that really gives like a luminous, dry, floral quality to the fragrance, but ultimately it's quite green as well, very green, and again it has a dark quality into it. Love it. And bitter, quite bitter, this green, bittery, bit floral, but quite dark vanilla. Man, this is so elegant. And I would say that this is fairly unisex. You just really need to love vanillas, and still it's not your typical sweet vanilla perfume. It's one of the best out there. It's really, in terms of my preferences, top 3 best vanilla fragrances ever created. I would even put this above Spiritueuse de Vanille. This is that good. Love this one. So elegant, so refined, and the performance is fantastic on my skin. It's really that special occasion type of perfume that will really mark you. And yeah, it's one that I really suggest for you to try if you have yet to. One of the better fragrances from this line, Angelique Noire by Guerlain. And of course, I forgot to mention that the Angelique Noire currently comes in 100 ml and 200 ml. I just prefer to go with the 200 ml with Guerlain. I mean, the 100 ml is 300 euros or close to 300 euros. The 200 ml, it's over 400 euros, but it's worth having the 200 ml than the 100 ml. You again get a better value for your money. But so yeah, there's just that. This one, the next fragrance from the house of Les Indemodables. And I mean, Les Indemodables itself, it's a very expensive brand. This one is their latest release though. It's not Vanille Van. I mean, I'm already tired of just constantly highlighting Vanille Van. I mean, it is the best sweet tobacco fragrance out there in the market. But I mean, I really want to highlight their latest release, which is glorious. Immortelle, Solaire. Stunning release, one of the best releases of this year, hands down. One of the best Immortelle fragrances that I ever smelled. Again, Immortelle wasn't always a favorite note of mine. It took me some time to appreciate Immortelle, but now that I do appreciate it, I mean, this is really one of my favorites. And this has this caramelized, crunchy Immortelle, very cozy, very fall-like, like late summer, fall type of perfume with this patchouli in the base, and you also have this hazelnut quality as well. So it has a bit of a mild gourmand quality, but with a very heavy, smoky patchouli in the base. Stunning, stunning perfume right here. And again, the Immortelle is a natural smelling Immortelle. Oh, it's so good. So, so good. One of the best from Les Indemodables. Definitely my favorite new release from Les Indemodables over the past 3 years. Hands down. Immortelle Solaire, it's really fantastic. This is 50 ml. The only fragrance that they sell on the 100 ml size is Vanilla Van, which is their best seller. But this one, and basically all of their 50 ml fragrances go for 220 euros. And it's very hard to find them in, I mean, I think it's even impossible to find them in discounters. So also there's that, but they're really worth the money. Natural ingredients, great quality overall, the craftsmanship, the blend, I mean, everything is just so smooth and effortless. I would say the main parfumeur is Antoine Lee, and Antoine Lee definitely created this one. I'm also very excited to try their latest Vanilla Van Cuir des Abysses. We will see that it's even more expensive. It's 420 euros for 50 ml. So let's see how that will work. But yeah, I mean, this one is brilliant. Immortelle Solaire by Les Indemodables. And last but certainly not least, this is the most expensive fragrance of this list and is the most expensive fragrance overall from my collection, if I'm not mistaken. And it's from the house of Frederic Malle, from the Desert Gems collection. The amazing The Moon, the masterpiece, The Moon. My favorite rosewood fragrance. I mean, to me, it's the best rosewood fragrance in the market, not even close. Tons of raspberry, very incensey, smoky, like shisha-like, with rose and oud and ambers. It's, I mean, just intoxicating. It's simply amazing. I mean, seriously, The Moon, there's nothing like it in the market. The highest quality of rose oud that I ever smelled. Natural smelling rose, natural smelling oud, really nice, jammy raspberry with this incense. Stunning. The Moon, I mean, and performance is, I mean, incredible. Really one of the best fragrances that I have in my collection overall. And yeah, this is a 100 ml and the retail is 860 euros. You also can get the 50 ml. I don't recall the price tag, to be honest, but yes, the 100 ml goes for over 800 euros. Retail, of course. And even if you can find them in the secondhand market, it will still be expensive. Highly doubt that you will find a secondhand fragrance of The Moon for less than 400 euros and 100 ml again. So yeah, quite expensive, but totally worth the price. The Moon by Frederic Malle. Finishing this video, guys, let me know in the comments down below what expensive fragrances out there you think are completely worth the money, what fragrances I should try that I didn't mention here. If you find value in this video, hit the like button, subscribe, check out all the other fragrance content that I have available, and see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Ciao.